Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed the last video. So I wanted to talk about people's views really on the crazy sort of selfie upload world that we seem to live in now. So I'll give you an example. Whether it's family events or seriously like special moments that you can share in your life. Like, why do you need to stop in that moment, take a picture, orchestrate a really nice picture, so you'll probably discard about 100 to get the perfect picture, and essentially ruin a moment just so you can share a moment. So, me and my beautiful family, we went to Disneyland, and we sat there for 2 hours at the front of, to try and get the best position, basically. So, kids were falling asleep. My bum was killing me because I was sat on the curb and the hard floor sort of thing, paving slabs in the middle of Disneyland Paris, just waiting for the fireworks, and it just went on and on and on and on and on. But you know what? When it finally came, it was so special. It was magical, and it was sort of 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes max, of a perfect family moment. And I will never forget the look on my children's face. Each of their faces were they were mesmerised. Absolutely mesmerised. And to be fair, even my wife was just in dreamland. I felt like a kid again. It was just amazing. Amazing. But you know what? We didn't have our phone. We didn't feel the need to film it or sort of share that moment. It was just special for us, which I think's fine. So listen, maybe it's just me. I'm a late 30s, and maybe I just don't get it, and I need to broaden my mind a little bit. It's not hurting anyone. I just wonder sometimes whether it's completely authentic what people put on social media. So I'll give an example. Someone would put a picture of themselves, happy family, or loving life, look at us, selfie, we're all absolutely perfect. You've got a guy with a chiseled jaw and looks amazing. His wife's smiling like a Cheshire cat. Everything's amazing. Kids, you can see the background. They've had the kitchen done or whatever, and everything looks immaculate in the house. And they just look like they've got life sussed. And then it unravels. He's been having an affair. Yeah. Kicks him out. Is now fighting for custody for the kids, that kind of thing. And you just wonder, you look at them in that picture or selection of photos that they upload on social media, and a lot of people are trying to think, oh God, I have to aspire to be like them. They've got it sussed. But no, maybe what they're doing is they're pretending everything's fine. They can stop what they're doing and take a lovely photo, and everyone thinks and portrays perfection, but it's not. So sometimes when you say, oh no, a lovely family day out, or a lovely amazing time at the theatre, or an amazing time at this, or having a wonderful meal, when you have to stop when you're on a date, okay, so just think about this. Very rarely and seldom do me and my wife have a date. So, we haven't had date night as such for probably 8 years. We obviously share moments, but generally all our favourite moments involve the kids. Now, our alone time just tends to happen in the house. We don't tend to go out for meals together and get babysitters in and things like that. It's just never been our style. But that said, seriously, just imagine you're on a date or a date night. You're having a special romantic meal with your other half, but you have to stop because you're having such a great time. The conversation's obviously flowing. But no, wait there. Let's take a picture of our food. Let's take a picture of each other smiling, and let's share it with everyone, saying what a wonderful time we're having. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but if you have to stop what you're doing, take a picture of your food, take a picture of one another, take the time to then share that on social media, by definition, are you really enjoying each other's company? Are you really having a great time? I mean, who are you posting that to? Surely the only people that matter in that moment are you two. At the end of the day, it's about you two. But yet, no, it gets shared to who you're sharing it to. Who are you letting know that you're having such a great time? Call me a cynic, but sometimes when people put things on social media, are they talking to someone else? Are they putting it out there for someone else that they've got their eye on? I don't know. Are they trying to prove to someone else that they've got life sussed? Again, it's just an opinion, it's just an observation. I am a little bit of a cynic, but for me, just enjoy each other, just be in the moment. And I guess that if you've been on holiday or you've had a great time somewhere, and then after the event you feel the need to then share moments I'm fine with that, like on social media. This is just a summary of I think recently people have uploaded "This is our Christmas as a family," like an album. I've got no problem with that because it's kind of like summarising what you've done over a few days and you wanted to share it with people. That's fair enough. But what I'm talking about is you're actually in the moment. You're supposed to be enjoying yourself and enjoying the company of the other person or just enjoying your special time, whether it's with a family, with a child, whatever it would be. So yeah, I don't know, I welcome your opinions on it. There's no right and there is no wrong. Absolutely no right and no wrong. I'm just a little bit cynical when I see it, that's all. And you imagine as well, if I will say this, so around the family table, let's say I'm around my parents. I'm not really the kind of guy who's going to take lots of selfies and lots of pictures, and that's just not really what we do. It's not. It's I just enjoy being in the moment. So, but then there's other family members who they could literally cut straight through a conversation that you might be having or cut through a moment and say, no, do that again. And then they're whipping the phone out and taking a picture. So it's recreating a moment. So again, I said earlier on, it loses its authenticity. And then it becomes a performance. So yeah, like I say, it's one for debate, but for me, I'm always a little bit cynical as to what people's motives are in either creating a fake perfection by sharing it with the world. Look at us, we're doing great. Or what reason are they sharing everything on social media? You know, is there someone that they're trying to engage? Is there someone that they're trying to catch their attention? I don't know. But yeah, you just ask yourself why. I mean, there's obviously the sharing of selfies, which is vain. There's a people sort of craving attention, or people craving recognition even. So, and they even cover that with almost an apology when they share it. So, we've all seen the sorry, but I just wanted, this is the best I've felt in years. And they'll take a picture of themselves and, oh, I'm so happy that I managed to get into this. Or they take a picture pretending to have just woken up, or something. Oh no, God, got bedhead, and actually they've ruffled their hair and they're still really, really proud of the way they're looking. Or, oh, I'm hot and sweaty because I've been working out, kind of thing. That one. Yeah, like I say, there's lots of selfies that go on there. I mean, I saw one recently and it was like, oh, this is me doing a toilet selfie because that's what we used to do back in the day. But actually, it's just you wanting to show everyone that you think you look great, because that's why you're taking a picture of yourself. So you think you're looking great, but you need other people to think it as well. I mean, what you're not going to see or hear is absolute honesty. If someone thinks you look a mess or you're being an idiot, they're not going to put a comment on social media going, well, actually, we don't think you look good, you look a muppet. Now, sometimes silence speaks a lot of words. So I'm always interested in the ones that don't comment. So you might have someone who likes it, but even better than that, if you could see who's viewed it but chose not to like it or chose not to say anything, that's great. I mean, that's just, that sort of stuff for me is just brilliant, because it's, in effect, they've looked at it and thought, oh God, eye roll, which I just think is fabulous. So there you go. That's my kind of thing. But it's just one of them. I'm like, I hate people craving attention and comment. This is why I don't do videos. I don't care. It's irrelevant what someone looks like. It just listen to what they've got to say. Judge someone by the personality. Let's get back to getting past all this vain rubbish. It really doesn't matter. Really doesn't matter. If you want to get fit and healthy, beautiful, go for it, fantastic. Do it for the right reasons. If you find yourself with less fat on you than you've ever had in your life, and it's fabulous, and you look a bit muscly, or you've got a bit of a golden tan, or whatever it is, absolutely amazing, great. Just, give it to yourself. But also as well, if you're carrying a bit of timber, or you're looking, you think, oh, I've got a couple of chins here, don't get yourself down in the dumps, you know what I mean? Just don't look at these people and think, oh, they've got it sussed, I need to be like these people. I need to be on that diet or this diet or the other. You don't. You just have to find whatever makes you happy, you know what I mean? And in me, it's been married to an absolute beautiful woman who is also my best mate, That's what makes me happy, and I get a lot of my happiness through my kids as well. I genuinely enjoy seeing them happy. That's the main enjoyment I have in my life. And yeah, I think we have to make sure we take time out to think of number one. But at the same time, when you have a child, I think you do have to come second. That's my opinion on that matter. Anyway, it's one of them. It's even in this world where selfishness is almost promoted. I try and teach my kids to stay humble, and to be love rich. You know, saying you love someone and showing you love someone, two different things. You can throw away words, no problem, but you can't ignore or hide how you feel and what you show. Kids will feel loved, and that's really important. So, when you come in my house, it's a house full of love and warmth, and happiness. That's the main underriding thing that we have here. Kids are extremely happy. Obviously, I am a little bit opinionated, and as you can tell, sometimes cynical, grumpy, whatever you want to call me. I mean, some people have likened me to Carl Pilkington, but it's because I moan. Who doesn't like a good whinge or a moan? But I just like calling out things, that's all. If I feel like something needs calling out, I'll call it out. But what I have been able to do as I've got older is, and I really welcome it actually, I quite like other people's opinions, especially counter arguments, because the older you get, I find I can kind of reflect a little bit more and come to other people's way of thinking. You'd think it'd be different. You'd think it'd be more like stubbornness as you get older, but I'm not. I can definitely be persuaded. I'm a bit more open to suggestion, a bit more open to people's things. I think the younger I was, so when I was maybe early 20s, you just think you know everything, and just black is black and that's it. I'm not going to be persuaded. Persuaded otherwise. But yeah, the older I get, the more open to not confrontation as such, but I think sometimes you have to go through confrontational moments to achieve some of the best moments in your life. But yeah, I mean, there was a moment probably 3 or 4 weeks ago. I remember I had a really strong opinion on something quite trivial. I think it was VAR in football, and I'm quite a practical guy, and sort of mathematician type. That's my skill set. So absolutely useless at creativity, not so great at literature, English, that kind of thing. I'm more about practicality. So what I love about maths is 99 times out of 100 there's an answer, and there doesn't have to be a reason for it. It's just that is the answer. So be it. It's not a philosophy. That is the answer. Yeah. So 99 squared, 9,802, whatever. That is the answer. So there you go. I don't know whether that is the answer, by the way. Anyway, what was I saying? So yeah, look, VAR. In particular, the offside rule. So in football, what they do now is they draw these lines, they have it in pause, and you can literally be offside by your toenail. You know, it's really, really class. I mean, the worst offside we've seen is someone's sleeve on their t-shirt. It's extremely precise and close. So my view for that was, yeah, so, you know, you can't argue with it. It's offside. Offside is offside. So stop whinging about it. It is what it is. Get over it. Now, my best mate has opposed my view for a long time. It's ruining the game, it's this, it's that, and the other, and I just haven't heard anything of it. I'm like, no, it's offside, it's black and white, can't argue with it, it's equal for everyone, it's the same for everyone, there's no bias, it's offside or it's not offside. No one can argue with it. What are you whinging about? And then anyway, I was listening on the way home on this talk show, and this, I think it was a coach. I'm sure it was a coach of a local team. Phoned in and sort of hit me with a counter argument. But he called into this talk show and he basically said, "Listen, it's not the game that we grew up with. It's not offside. And I'll tell you this for why." He says, you know, some of the best goals that's ever been scored, some of them goals wouldn't exist if we had the same, if they'd have had the same VAR system in play. So I was like, okay, that's a very good point. What's your point? And then he said something that was, again, it was really, you know, he says, if someone scores a goal, they're not celebrating because they're waiting to see if they were offside. It's took away that moment of joy when the ball gets played through, there's a goal, they won't celebrate properly because they're waiting to see if they were offside or onside. And I thought that is such a good point. It has took away that element. I mean, there was a situation where Scotland won a penalty shootout, and in penalty shootout, the goalkeeper can't come off their line, even by a minuscule, otherwise the penalty has to get retaken. And the goalkeeper, I think it's Marshall, his name, he saved the goal from Mitrovic, and he literally stood for what seemed like an eternity, staring at the referee, saying, "Is that a save? Is it going to stand?" Before he celebrated with the rest of his teammates. It was laughable. In fact, it probably would be on one of the funniest things to happen in the year 2020. So it's most brilliant things, but also funniest things. He couldn't go and celebrate until he had that vindication that it was a legal goal. Now, they've got to come up with something that takes that away. You know, we can't get to the point where we are using technology in the wrong way. It just can't happen. So, you know, another suggestion for me would be, yeah, use the VAR for certain things. So, for example, in cricket, you use an appeal. So they use the appeal system, and they have three appeal attempts. Tennis is the same. Why don't they do the same in football? So goal line technology, superb. Again, works majority of the time. Can't really argue with it. I think there's one blooper from last season. But in general, it's a really solid system. So stick with that, not a problem. Now, penalties, God, you probably heard me on my last video, absolute nightmare penalties, because they've got this thing called is there any element of doubt to go against the decision type of thing. So it still is open to interpretation. So you've got to have made an error. So you've got to have a referee accuse the other referee of making an obvious error. And then even at that point, the referee on the field's got to admit that they've made an obvious error by going to watch a monitor at the side of the field and admitting they've made a mistake. Doesn't happen very often. So just have an appeals process for certain decisions. So personally, don't have video assisted referee moments for every single moment. Have appeals. So if the team, I'll give you an example, if the team's got 3 appeals, if they've appealed 3 decisions and then there is a goal that's scored with a marginal offside, you don't go to VAR. You don't go to VAR because they've used the appeals already. So if they've already appealed for a penalty that wasn't given, if they've already appealed for an offside that wasn't given, they've used it. They've used them up. So don't go to VAR for every single decision. Give the lines people or the assistant referees, give them the responsibility of making a decision. Speaking of which, one of the most ridiculous things, they know it's offside, they know they're going to give offside, but they don't put the flag up until the person has touched it. It's the most stupid thing, and some of these decisions that they do make, they're wrong anyway. But anyway, that's another matter for another video. That was really the main things I wanted to discuss on this video, and hopefully you've found it enlightening. Give me some thoughts, give me some comments. I mean, the main thing I was talking about was the selfie sort of obsession that people seem to have, and sharing these either authentic or less than authentic moments on social media, seeming like they can't live life without I'm really suspicious of these people who make themselves laugh and then take a picture of themselves laughing. That's really weird. Really weird. I don't get it. Or the ones who take a picture of themselves pretending to sleep. That's just freaky, isn't it? Anyway. Anywho. I'd really welcome your comments below. I'd love some subscribers. That'd be great. Likes. Counter arguments. Just don't go trolling. Can't really be bothered with that. But yeah. Speak to you soon.